Hi, this is my review of Sky of Crimson Flame. This is a zero-level adventure or funnel for the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game, but it's easy enough to convert to other D20-based systems. This adventure features a lot of body horror, and it is the launching point or the start for a larger, grander campaign. I will be reviewing that mini campaign setting in the next video featuring this line of products, but this funnel or adventure also serves as a standalone product. Now let's talk about the quality of the PDF. The quality is superb. The document is fully bookmarked. Everything is well organized, written and explained. The illustrations are awesome, very much in tune with this Clive Barker Hellraiser sort of situation. Overall, the quality is pretty much perfect. Now let's talk about the contents. What is this adventure about? And just a warning, this video is going to contain spoilers. It is for 16 to 24 0 level characters, but it's easy enough to adjust to other levels. Now concerning the background, there was this evil necromancer known as Balroth Tharith. This necromancer was practicing his dark arts in this ruined keep in the middle of a cursed forest. Villagers started to disappear. They were obviously being kidnapped by this necromancer, but the people at the village did not know this. This necromancer was attempting to split his own soul into various places to enslave or conquer different dimensions or parallel worlds. And he left a sliver of his soul as an anchor point in this plane of existence in the form of a dagger. Eventually he disappeared. He sent his other fragments of the soul into other dimensions, into other realities, and he was in a somewhat dormant state until a villager by the name of Belessa was foolish enough to wander into this cursed forest. She started to hear the summonings, the beckoning of this dagger/soul, and she was seduced by it. There is a certain, like I said, Clive Barker Hellraiser sort of pleasure in this dark tale. She took the dagger after she went into the keep, and she started to cut pieces of her own flesh, until only the muscles remained exposed. And she became an avatar for this necromancer. She started to kidnap other villagers. She also tortured them, she removed their flesh, and they also turned as monstrosities, as aberrations that serve this cult to bring the necromancer back into this dimension, or rather plane of existence, if you will. The player characters play as villagers who are trying to figure out why people are disappearing, what is going on. And one of them is going to have a personal connection with Belessa, this unfortunate girl that wandered into the accursed keep. He actually has a love letter. He was in a starting relationship or the early stages of a relationship with this villager, and now that player character will attempt to rescue her, even though she is pretty much the main villain. Well, in a way, in a sense. Death and misfortune plays a very important role in this adventure, especially because there is a certain crossing of dimensions because of the entire situation with the necromancer dividing his souls into various places and being summoned or called back into this world. So, for example, when a player character dies, you can choose to roll the crimson die. This is basically a six-sided die, and you could end up with some blessings or curses for the rest of your party. As many of you know, in Dungeon Crawl Classics, you play a group, an entire group of adventurers, and most of them are going to die. Some of these curses are quite terrible. For example, all actions, saves, etc. are rolled with a minus die down the dice chain for the next 2d3 turns. But you can get some awesome things as well. For example, a ghostly knight that comes to assist you. So now you have a ghost henchman. That's amazing. Or hireling. Well, not a hireling, rather a follower. You also have a table to determine the different missing villagers and the place where they are being kept prisoners in the keep. So this ties the player characters closer to the story. Each player character, or rather each group, is looking for a particular person. Perhaps a farmer, a carpenter, a shoemaker, an aunt or an uncle, a cousin, a friend. And if you find that character alive, something good is going to happen to you. If you fail to rescue that character, something bad is going to happen. That is, besides encountering that character as an enemy, because all of these different captured individuals, through the power of the dagger, are turned into these flayed, exposed muscle aberrations that attack the party of adventurers, or rather the parties. And they come in a variety of forms. For example, some of them are just people that shouldn't be alive, walking around in their bloodied muscles bodies. Some of them lose their heads, literally. The heads fly off from their bodies and they attack with the spine. They use the spinal cord to impale their opponents, unless they are children. In that case, they are like these cherub type heads that latch onto your body and start to suck blood. And you're going to be facing off against these horrors, not only through the forest, but also when you arrive at the keep. You have excellent maps and handouts to get you into the theme, into the story, either as a game master or as a player, depending on how you want to handle the description, the presentation of images. I personally prefer to describe things to my players and let them come up with their own mental images of the horrors, but you can handle it however you like, and I use these amazing illustrations for my own inspiration. You will have to navigate through dangerous and hazardous places, such as ledges. You could fall down. You will navigate literal dungeons in the keep, and crumbling structures that could cause you to fall to your deaths. So you will have to navigate various dangerous places. You will have to outthink and outsmart your enemies, and also come up with some solutions. Because you are just starting as an everyday type of person, your resources are limited. You don't have powerful magic or specialized gear. You have to work with what you have at hand, or perhaps some things that you encounter in the environment. You can also find clues to tell you what is going on. It could be revealed that Velesa is the main villain, the one who is trying to call back this sorcerer, this rather necromancer. You can encounter magical and cursed items. There is also this terrifying monster. It's called the corrupted flesh. This is pretty much the discarded flesh of the necromancer, and it tries to engulf or consume the people that it wanders into. There are several instances in this adventure where the player characters could fall prey to their own madness or their fear. Once you get to the ritual area where Velesa is conducting this operation to bring back the necromancer, you can actually stop the ritual in various ways. But if not, you will have to fight this strange incarnation of the necromancer that, although it hasn't reached its full potential, it is still quite deadly. It is much better to fight against Velesa and defeat her if possible, because this necromancer by himself can pretty much annihilate all of the adventurers. There is a new spell included in this adventure, and you have a table covering Nexus disturbance events or effects. Like I said, there is this certain crossing of dimensions, so many things could happen. Perhaps a bright twisting ribbon of energy passes across the platform. All player characters must roll on a DC 13 fort save, or H1d4 by 10 years, lowering their strength, stamina, and agility by 1 point for every 20 years aged. Or perhaps the ground bursts open as 8 wailing impaled villagers rise from the fissure to surround the necromancer. The impaled souls cause the necromancer Balroth Harid to lose his action this round. And this concludes this review. What do I think of Sky of Crimson Flame? This adventure is perfect if you want to create a dreaded body horror, nightmarish scenario where you see crucified and impaled corpses, these beings that have no flesh on them and are trying to kill you, this cult leader that was once very beautiful and loved by all, now turned into an insane avatar for the necromancer, the flying heads, the deadly traps, the dark corners of the keep, the dangerous places within the forest, This is perfect as a funnel, especially when it comes to grim dark body horror situations. And although this adventure is standalone, you have various text boxes explaining how you can link various things such as events and the magical and accursed items with the mini campaign setting that I am going to be reviewing pretty soon. So overall, my highest recommendation for Sky of Crimson Flame. One of the best funnels out there. Thank you for watching my review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.